Thanks for coming on. This broadcast belongs to them, and it's our King Diamond podcast, and we're lucky to have you on, Kim. Hello.
Hello. Wait. I'm pleased to be here.
Yes, and we're here with Ralph Viera from the Ralph Viera Vault Podcast, and also with my co-host Greg. And well, he can't see you, Greg.
I heard some of your shows after we talked. I found it on the web, and then I listened to the conversation. It's a pretty good show you're doing. So I'm proud to be invited.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
It's an honor. It is an honor. Kim, I just want to say that I discovered Mercyful Fate before Melissa. A friend of mine down here in South Florida found the EP, and then I soon bought it. And honestly, Mercyful Fate, the 80s Mercyful Fate, to me is my favorite band with 70s Black Sabbath. I mean, y'all meant so much to me, and I've said it a million times. It's not that I have a problem with the Fate albums afterward. I like them as well, but it's just not the same without you. It's like you take any component out of the 5 original members, it's just not the same. There's something about your drumming. It was more in an organic nature, and I like that organic feel to drumming, And it's just an honor to talk to you. And I will say, you have been kind of a mystery to us Fate fans, because we never really heard much from you afterwards, but we all talk about you. Everybody talks about Kim Ruzz,
Yeah, but first of all, your points about the music, Mercyful Fate music, I share them a lot. I think the only 2 LPs worth listening to are 2 first. It's not because that I'm a part of it, of course. I think we're special, as you say. You couldn't take anybody out of that lineup, and it was so special. And it was so one of these things that just happens. You can't plan it. You can't. It just happens. And we were the right guy, the right. Everything was just right musically.
Yeah. You guys made magic. It was a magical experience. It was a religious experience listening to Mercyful Fate, because I've never known of a band that could cram so many riffs in one song and make it work like you guys did. You know what I'm saying? No. It just flowed perfectly.
That was exciting. When as a musician, you probably heard that before, but for me, the good stuff is not on tour, it's not on stage. It's the fucking rehearsing room. It's the process. When you're making the music, that's the most exciting part. I like the other things as well, but the most exciting is the process. And then we just in the process, we just hit something magic, as you say, and a lot of creativity.
Was there ever, and I'm sorry, Wayne, I'll let you take over. I know what you're saying.
Go ahead. That's fine. We're all in this together.
in the writing process, was there ever a time where everything just flowed naturally and you wrote a song quick, or was it always? Because to me, it sounds like it took a long time to write these amazing songs. Or was there any songs that just flowed out?
Yeah. A couple of did, but then again, hard work. What's that? It's a relative perspective to have, because most of the songs it worked that way. Either Hank or Michael or King brought some material to the rehearsal. Often really raw stuff, as had to be processed, and it was the what can I call it, the sewing or the knitting work, or the composing was not. Nobody, even though it says on the, if you take any number from Mercyful Fate, and you'll see there's some writers and some lyrics, but the only thing that's you can say that it's the lyrics. King was the only one who did lyrics, but the music, we all did that together, even though it says Michael and Hank or King or Hank blah 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 or King had wrote the number. It's not really so. It's they brought the probably, that how band rehearse. You know how that works. They can just throw some material on the table, and the whole band start to work with it. And but I was not that old. I was 19 years old, very creative, but not. I wasn't business minded or anything like that. It's just this was having a time of my life.
Yeah. Now, you didn't start with Mercyful Fate. How did they get you into the band? Because they had different drummers all before you joined.
Started with how was it? Benny, you know the guy Benny. Ben Peterson, who briefly replaced Michael Denner for a short period. Yep. I played with him. I knew him. I know him since we were 13 years old. We went to youth club together, and we started a band there. And we played on for 2, 3, 4 years, getting better and better. And then Benny was getting quite good, and so was I. And Benny started. There was an opening in Mercyful Fate where he started to play the guitar. I think because some shit happened between Michael and some of the other guys in the band. And I had I had a PA. I do sound concert. So they had a gig in a little Danish town and a school, and they needed somebody to make this put up the PA. I had a PA that rented and make the sound for him. And I said, okay, I'll do that. And I have heard Benny played some of the Mercyful Fate stuff for me. He had some tapes, and I think that was fucking awesome. I think for me, I just Judas Priest and Saxon, and that has that really. I'm into all kind of music, but that really as a drummer, that I would want to play some heavy metal. And I thought that Mercyful Fate. I heard Michael and Hank. The guitars are just mind blowing. I had to play them, and I had to find a way. But then I'm, a little bit devious that day. When I mic'd up the drums for the drummer, Ole. His name was. I didn't think it was special good, but I made his drum sound so amazing that he wouldn't believe it. And said, "You come here, don't stand here on the pole where I made the sound. When I will beat the drums up for you a little bit, play a groove or two, and then you can hear and listen how it sounds." And then he idiot said yes. And then sorry. And then he was a nice guy. Then I just played my brains out, showed what I could do, and then for a week, it took a little week. Then somebody knocked on my door and asked if I was interested in joining Mercyful Fate. I said, no, I won't do that shit. I couldn't get my arms down. I think, that's all.
Very cool.
Can you understand me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's how. And from there on, But the first, then our first rehearsal was, I think I was playing with Hank for half an hour before the other guys arrived, and then we put Doom by the Living Dead together. Hank and yeah. Next question.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Sorry, the phone's breaking up a little bit, so that's the problem. But you got something, Greg?
No, I was going to say that's really cool. Doomed by the Living Dead's one of my favorite songs.
That's the first one I played with Mercyful Fate, and only with Hank. That was it stands. I can still remember that moment when we because we just it was such a special feeling because Hank and me, we just clicked. We never speak before me. We just said hello, and then he plugged in, and I sat behind the drums, and then he started playing, and then it's just magic. I've never ever felt anything like that.
Oh, that's really awesome, and you can really tell too. My favorite Mercyful Fate recording is actually the 3-song Friday Rock Show session you guys did that they put on that compilation in the beginning. And well, first of all, your drums are mic'd amazing in that. I love how in your face it is. But you guys improvise a little bit there, and the playing is just so fluid and it's so heavy, and it just sounds amazing. You and Timmy are just so in the pocket; it's almost like listening to a Zappa concert. It's so tight.
Yeah, but we rehearsed so fucking much. It was more than a normal full-time job in Denmark. We rehearsed, and we loved it. And that's probably why we got so tight, because it was just everybody wanted that. We didn't want to be as anybody else. We wanted to be as tight as we could ever be, and so professional, and so everything. We wanted to be the best the whole way, all the way around. And it's not hysterical, but just natural. Like we faced one another or something like that. I don't get you understand what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
How Kim, how was the scene in Denmark at the time when you guys were playing out and in the very early days?
What scene? There was no scene. There was no scene. No scene for heavy. No scene for heavy rock or heavy metal. It wasn't even heavy metal at that time. I think. I think heavy metal was just beginning. I think as a genre, as a what do you call it in English? In Danish we call it genre. Different kind of styles in heavy.
Oh, subgenres. Yeah.
Yeah. Heavy metal was just started when we started up with some Saxon and some Accept, some Judas Priest and things like that. So yeah, that was no real thing. It was punk or post-punk scene, most some pop.
So when you would play shows in Denmark at that time, was it like hard to find shows, and did you have to leave Denmark?
We did also. We did the gigs we played in Denmark before we went and make the mini EP was mostly something we arranged ourselves, or I don't know how they got the support gigs. We played with thing of the people, what's it called? There was a Gillen band. We supported Gillen band and something. Girls' school. I wasn't in the band and supported girls' school, but Gillen band and something else. I can't quite remember. So long time ago. And that was I think it was through Ken Anthony. If you heard of him.
No. He
was the guy who established this thing in Denmark. Did Michael not tell you about Ken Anthony? Michael Denman?
No.
Oh, he didn't mention him.
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. Okay. But I think Mercyful Fate and Ken Hansen, we created the metal scene in Denmark. We sort of I can see that in hindsight now. We created the basis for it because we was lucky. A lot of people thought that our music was good, and from there on, I think we had a major part of it.
Mm. Now, did you ever hear of Black Rose and the Brats before you joined Mercyful Fate?
No. Yeah, the Brats I've heard of before, but not the Black Rose. I didn't know Kim before.
Really? Wow.
I didn't know him. I've seen Hank. I heard of him, and through Benny because you know two guitar idiots. They stick together, like cops or something like that. No.
Benny wasn't related to King Diamond, right? It's just coincidental they had the same last name.
That's just coincidence. They're not related.
Okay. How was it recording the EP? Like, because I would imagine, like, because you didn't do those songs beforehand, because most of that stuff was like written from earlier stuff. So how did you, because they had a drum, the drummers before you, and you added your own thing to that. So how was it doing those songs, your own style?
I didn't think about. I just did it. I didn't have any. I told you I was 19 years old. A really fucked up childhood, and something really good happened to me. And I might have been a bit of a mouthful at that time because I was in the curtains. I was everywhere. I was under the floor, in the wallpaper. I was everywhere, and yeah.
Did you take drum lessons or did you teach yourself? Because you have a certain style. Not too many people have your style.
Yeah, it's my own style. I've never have any what you call this education. I've never went to
drum lessons.
School, any teachers, anything. No, this is my own. I always first time. I think it was between 4 or 6 years old when I knew I had to do something with showbiz because a dream kept coming back to me when I was like, having a on stage view on the crowd. I'd never been on stage. I'd never been in a theater or anything, but I can still remember those dreams, and that was meant to be. I don't know. It's very difficult to explain.
How was it being on stage for the first time? Were you nervous?
Every time I'm stage, every fucking time. Still, the last half hour before the gig starts, I always wish it get cancelled.
Oh wow!
But not enough to mitigate myself or anything about that. It's just I think maybe it's a good feeling because you're very focused and. 1.5 seconds after I go on stage, it's gone.
Yeah. So then you recorded the Mercyful Fate album. What was different from that from the EP, from like recording wise?
Bigger studio, not much that I can recall because it was kind of the same procedure, every time. Yeah.
Did you see popularity with the band getting to be more by then?
Yeah. That's the reason why we got to make the EP because the popularity rose especially in Holland and England. I think first time. Then we followed the metal scene worldwide. It's through the magazine Kerrang. You know that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
You have to remember this was back in the start of the 80s. There was no such thing as computers on mobile phones and the stuff we've got nowadays. It's really old school everything. Yeah. So yeah, but through Viera we could see and through fan mails and through we got some supporters John Tibble in England. We had different supporters who worked for us in different countries and helped spreading the soccer in the underground, the soccer our safes. Before I think it was Jack Husnick's. It's called got us to make things. Before that, we have been, as you know, the BBC session in England, and we were supposed to go on tour with Manowar once. Remember that?
Oh, really?
And before that, we went. I think we made a compilation where we recorded with where Benny was supposed to be on in Hull. I think it was and I can't Black Mass. I think I can't really remember. You know that better than me, I think.
Greg,
did you face a lot of controversy at the time? Because the album cover of the EP and the subject matter of the songs. Was there a lot of controversy that followed you guys back then?
Yeah, only from your country, the moral majority in the United States. but that's in Italy there was a bit, the Catholic, Catholic Church was. But I didn't really. I think the Satanism and King's show is it's a very good show. Period. I don't really get into. I think it's a bit. Now I have to watch my word. I think it's a bit pathetic, a bit childish.
Us Americans think so too.
I think, but that's my point in general. If we get to talk about religion, I think it's done enough. I think it should leave us alone.
I know there's one show. This was around before Melissa that was professionally filmed, which a lot of us bootleggers have. Do you call any other shows like during the Melissa era or Don't Break the Oath that was filmed by a professional crew?
The only professional I've seen, I've been involved with, or I just got told now, was I think it was in Rome, in Italy, in Rome. I don't know anything. I don't know if there were. I forgot.
Right. Okay.
Do you own anything that you've recorded or live or anything?
No. I've got the records, of course, but and I got some pictures, but nothing else.
Oh, you didn't keep nothing?
I did keep something. I did keep something, but something, at some point of my life, I had to choose what I'm to do. And as I told you in the start, I had a really, really, really tough, very tough childhood. And when I got married and my wife got pregnant, I had to take a decision of what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a father, or I wanted to be a musician touring the world. And I know myself good enough. I know myself enough to. It would be hard for me to not be with my children.
Right. Yeah. How many children do you have?
I had to choose the person I wanted to be. I had to make some choices to be the one that I wanted to be.
Yeah. How many children do you have?
I have 2 kids. Kids are not anymore. I had 2 boys, Frederik and Rasmus. They are both of them living in Copenhagen now. They bought a condo together, and they're going. Both of them are studying on the university in Copenhagen.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
Now you brought up you had a tough childhood. What was your childhood like?
A lot of abuse. Single mother. I think if there was one day I didn't get beaten, that must have been I must have been starting from I was 4 years old.
Oh wow!
And it's not just it's not just slaps with the palm of your hand. It's also fists from a drunken drug addict bitch with the mother. It's a bit like Eminem. I just don't say about it.
Mm. Yeah, that sucks. You have to go through that.
And when I met with the guys, I was 19. And just I was still abused child. Some
really,
in my head, I had nothing had been dealt with. I was handling it on my own.
Mm.
But then,
so I guess the band was a good thing in a way, because I guess it kind of got you away from that, no?
The best thing ever. If I hadn't started it, if I hadn't played in Mercyful Fate, I don't know what have happened to me. It probably, I don't know what. Junkie, a criminal. I don't know, because I'm very creative and I'm a bit intelligent as well, and I always find ways to handle. If you have to be an adult from you're 10 years old, you get street smart, or what you call it. You learn to take care and handle yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Greg,
it's not sad. It's not supposed to be sad, because I think that everything that happens in your life creates who you are, makes you who you are, and I think I've had a few people have been so lucky as I am for the life I've had. I think.
Right.
So even though shit have happened, I think that who doesn't experience that?
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad things ended up working out.
Yeah,
Greg.
Yeah, me too. Well, one thing I was always curious about, Kim, was I know Mercyful Fate's first U.S. tour in '83. You went out with Slayer. Did you guys ever jam together at all, or how was that tour?
No. It was a great tour. No, we didn't jam together. We just I think the first time we met them I think it was Phoenix, where they were support when we played in Phoenix.
Yep.
But the details around the tour in the US, they're sometimes a bit blurry for me due to a lot of things. I didn't drink much. I've never done that, and I do smoke it a bit once in a while. But it was so mind-blowing an experience for me, as I've told you where I come from, and then walking from being the kid, the neighbors' kids aren't allowed to play with, and to suddenly being treated like a star. That really it took me about a month to cope with that. It's actually it happens in a concert where when you first it hits you that you be looked upon as a star, and everybody looks up to you, and if you're not that old, it gets to your head. You have to have some to help you. You have to have some support to understand how you navigate in that environment. And Michael and me were then and still are very good friends. We talked a lot. And but still, it was hard not to be to put it straight. It's hard not to be an arrogant little prick, which I and too arrogant and too full of myself and all of that. And then one day we didn't really earn any money on the US tour, and I didn't earn any money on Mercyful Fate at all. That's another story. But before the concert, two nice younger guys came up to me, have recognized me, and asked if they could get a backstage pass. Backstage pass. And then I said, yeah, we can arrange that, but that'll be, you'll have to pay $200 each. They'll do that. And I paid the backstage passes. And then in the moment where I received the money, everything just crossed inside my head. I think, what the fuck are you doing, you stupid idiot? These two guys are one of those who are responsible for you. I'm being there for. These are the guys who makes you a star, not your fucking self. So that made the things fall in place for me. So I gave them the backstage passes and a hug and that money. And from that point I tried to be humble. I know I'm not very successful, but that's fine.
But you made history. I mean, from your, trouble, the trouble you went through as your childhood, you can look back now and say, you are a big influence on many, many people. Many drummers look up to you, and you are legendary.
Yeah, it's very hard to grasp sometimes. If you know how many times I stood with the moving pictures, with the Rush album or some Deep Purple or something with Iron Pace or Gene Krupa, all this, or not Gene Krupa, but or Lars Ulrich, or other great drummers, and I look at their albums. I've often done that. I have got shit. This guy is good, and to understand that these guys do the same with your albums. That's fucking freaking me out. Yeah. Sometimes that's very hard to understand. But I'm very proud, and sometimes it's hard to take it in, if you know what I mean. And every time I'm down, I just go to look on I go to look and write Kim Ruzz, I write Mercyful Fate, and my self-confidence is getting back. So yes, I am very grateful for Mercyful Fate, and the whole period it's done the world of good for me in any way. No matter what have happened, no matter who did what or all that shit, because the thing that it did for me personally is undescribable. I probably saved my life in some kind.
Yeah.
And it puts you in a legendary status, and it's just it's amazing how the music you guys did in the 80s, it's still relevant and fresh today. It doesn't age,
right.
It's still revered. It's people still look back on it. People cover it. Hey, Metallica covered it, and
you had a quite better before now. Hello.
Oh,
yes.
There you go. Yep. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, we didn't hear the last thing, Kim.
No.
You there?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're breaking a bit up.
It's you. We're all sitting here still. It's Denmark. Denmark has terrible phone connections.
Yeah, I know that. At some point we are behind. Yeah, but yeah.
So then Kim, with the Don't Break the Oath album, you came back to the States and toured with Exciter and Motorhead. That must have been a great time.
That was a really great time. Really great. It was undescribable. And so to listen to, how do you know how Motorhead warm up before a gig?
No.
You don't know that?
No.
The a cappella, they're singing Surf Safari with all the harmonies.
No shit. Wow, that's just hard to imagine. Lemmy, Eddie, and Phil.
Yeah. And they could go on America's Got Talent. Yeah. But we had a great time.
I knew about that tour, Kim, while it was going on, but I live in South Florida and I was very young at the time. But believe me, if you would have came to South Florida, I could have seen Mercyful Fate because you were the band. You were the band. You were like, for us metal, kids at the time. Yeah. Mercyful Fate wasn't on MTV or it was like, and if we had to read about them, it was on Kerrang, Import magazine. Yeah. So you were kind of like our band, Yeah. And it was very special. And I still feel like Mercyful Fate still has that.
Was it kind of forbidden fruit or something?
Yeah. And the forbidden fruit always tastes sweeter.
Yeah.
And with the recording of Melissa and Don't Break the Oath, was there any songs that were recorded that none of us heard?
No.
Everything was released.
Yeah, everything was released. Yeah. There's no.
What about
I think we had. I think it was Black Masses, I think.
Yeah, Black Masses was a B-side on Black Funeral.
Yeah.
What about the immigrant song?
What?
The immigrant song. I know you guys did do a version of that, but it never got released.
No. Never.
Never.
No, that. That was me involved. I said no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was actually
never.
Interesting.
Recorded.
What?
It was never recorded. You just played it live or rehearsals.
Not with me. Maybe later or before.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. There was no cover songs in the Mercyful Fate days, like live.
No.
It was always original material.
Always.
Oh, that's just, it's interesting because I think it's in the Melissa remastered CD that Roadrunner put out. King says in the liner notes for that you guys recorded it, but it got deleted.
Which number? What number?
The immigrant song.
No, we didn't. Not I didn't. They may have done something that without me knowing it. I've never played the immigrant song with these guys. I played it, but not with these guys.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Well, that's good, because I think it would have been a bad idea anyway.
Yeah, it would have.
I much prefer Mercyful Fate.
But if you have to do a copy of anything, it's such a good number that you should just play it as it is, or you should have a really, really, really good idea to before it's blasphemy,
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
With the recording of Don't Break the Oath, because this is starting to get to the breakup of the band, what was going on in the band at the time? Was there, I know there was conflicts with Hank and things that he was wearing and not really being into metal at the time, or something was going on with him. How was the band itself?
We were quite good. Actually, I was very surprised when King phoned and said that the band was breaking up and I could get a job with King Diamond. And I was very surprised, very, very surprised, and I was very, very fucking angry about it because I think we have achieved so much, and there have been, there have always been, King's, the way King sings kind of divides everybody.
Right.
Some love it and some hate it, and of course we were aware of that, and we seriously discussed it, getting in another singer. Because we knew that the music alone was had the potential to be more than don't misunderstand me, but be more than just a satanic metal band. I think the only one who had that ambition was King. Yeah, nobody else had any ambition. That was why we split. I think because. I think it's a small company called Warner Brothers that wanted to sign us, and but the King had to the message was he had to lower his mission style and get more an attitude like Alice Cooper or I can't remember from Black Sabbath.
Ozzy or
what?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, Ozzy, stories instead of being a missionary for Satanism, and that we all the guys in the band sort of agreed on that, and we put some pressure on King, and that's and he was, and I kind of somehow I admire him for it because he still his stand and said, no, I'm not my ambitions is not for sale. I can't be bored. And I kind of admire that, but at the same time, it pisses me off. He could have, we tried to press him to lower the volume on Satanism and go the horror way, but he no way. So he wanted to split up Mercyful Fate and be and hire us to play King Diamond Band. And before I get to that, I didn't get to speak to any of the guys. And Jimmy and Dana already said yes to that instead of talking to me and Hank about getting another thing. So that and Hank offered me I could play the drums. King offered me to play the drums in King Diamond, but I was too pissed to I don't know what, angry, everything. Stubborn. I don't know, stupid. I didn't want to. I kind of knew if I do that, I've lost everything. Then I just said yes, so he could be the fastest leader of a band, and that was. So you know the history. You know what happened. You may have talked to some of the other guys. He's not. Mr. Kim Bendix is not always so bad. And he's very money oriented. But I think we should have talked the four of us before saying yes to any of his proposals. Then we might have okay. I said no to King and I said no to Hank. Hank wanted to go the glam rock way, and that was not what I have in mind.
Wow.
So,
you didn't miss much there. I don't know if you've heard that record, but I could never get behind Hank on that one.
No.
So that
Hank's for saying, he's a nice guy, but he's for saying. I know maybe I'm saying too much, but he still wants him to be a rock star, and the guy is over 60 years old. I think it's a good story for him.
Well, that is something that I don't know if you guys were aware of, but I had no idea that Kim was asked to be part of the King Diamond band. I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I was the first year.
I always question that, Kim, because in all the stories I've read, it was only King Diamond was the one that most would say, well, the reason Mercyful Fate broke up was, Hank Sherman was wearing some weird clothes on stage. He wanted to get more pop, but he never mentioned you. That's why I always thought it was odd that you weren't part of the King Diamond band, but now you just explained why you weren't. So, yeah, you still were, because everybody else was in the King Diamond band in the beginning.
I told King when he gave me that offer, that I said, it sounds thank you for your offer, but that's not enough. And I'm not. You can't control me. Hank and King tried to control me. They can't. I'm much smarter than they are in that direction. I could look through what already that time I could see what they wanted, and even though I was fresh in the showbiz and all that shit, and I wasn't that old, I could smell what they go, and I think it wasn't honest. I couldn't. That would be halfway. When you do something half, it's always shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Your heart wasn't into it.
No. No.
Yeah. What's interesting about that is that's actually why Les Binks left Judas Priest after Killing Machine too, because they told him they wanted to go in a more pop-oriented direction, so they wanted him to play simpler, and he said, "Absolutely not."
Yeah, but that's my point. Is the same point there, but you cannot. I think you're cheating yourself and everybody around you to try to think you can make music, magical music in a certain direction. No, it just happens. It just fucking happens. You don't think about it. You just do it. You can't plan. You can't plan that. It's not Charlie Parker. You can use math. Yes, you can do that, and you can write some great stuff just using math. Lots of example on that. But if you want to create magic, it's quite different thing. I don't know if you agree or not, but that's the way I feel about it. You can't teach anybody. You can learn that. You can learn the craft. You can learn how to play an instrument. Michael Skinner is a very wise man. Once said to me once, you have to spend around maybe 10,000 hours. Then you've learned to play an instrument. But when you play around 10 or 20 years, you might call yourself a musician.
Well, Kev, that makes a lot of sense. You say that because your drumming, it like I said earlier, it's like organic from the heart. It's not. Yeah. I don't think it's a planned thing. You just played from your heart. Where I think King was going in the direction to make it more, let's make it technically. That's what the Mickey D thing comes in, because both of you are such different drummers, but your drumming is more in an organic nature, a real nature. And that's what made Mercyful Fate so amazing in the 80s, and why it was so different afterwards. Because I'm telling you, with In the Shadows, I mean, you just didn't have that organic feel anymore, because everybody knows the most important member of a band is a drummer. Because if the drummer's not,
I couldn't agree more.
Well, if the drummer's no good, the band's no good.
Yeah. True.
So that and it shows, and that's why Mercyful Fate was so special, because it felt more organic, more real, less processed is a better way of saying it. It was organic. It was with no preservatives, as they say. And that's why you guys are so special, and always will be special. And that's why you're still talked about today. Those albums, they're still heralded today as, when anybody talks about Mercyful Fate, they always lean more toward the 80s stuff.
It's always those first two albums.
I can see that when I look at the different lists on the different media, Spotify or something like that. I can see what the hits are laying. That's obvious. So I'm very proud of that, and I think Mickey D is excellent. He's so fucking good drummer, and
it's great.
But as you say, I think. It's not that my drumming was. I don't know which one of you who once called my drumming sloppy. I have a knee ready for you. No,
it wasn't me.
No, it was. I said organic. Organic.
It's totally correct. It's totally correct. You can some of it seems sloppy, but it's not. It's very thought. Everything I do is not planned, but it's how I felt it, and I kept on playing it like I wanted to. How can I explain it? Some of the things I couldn't do, I had to rehearse. For example, double bass. It took me on the EP there's no double bass, and I think on Melissa there's a little bit in Satan's Fault. But I believe I was asked to super station to join a super station at the Dynamo in Eindhoven in Holland, and we should playing with DiMaggio from Iron Maiden, the old singer, and Udo would be there, and Schenker, and some these small guys,
Oh wow!
Yeah. Really big guys. I was stunned. then I asked me to come in and I should play Fast as a Shark and some other shit. And I had never played double bass, and I loved Fast as a Shark, and I loved the double bass. So I had to, I booked the rehearsal room for 14 days, and then I moved in with some food and my sleeping bag and my double bass, and then I learned to play double bass. And that's the way I often do things. Like somebody does in computing, learning by doing, learning as the needs are created, are there. You know what I mean?
Mm. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And by repetition.
I mean, much of what I do on the drums on Mercyful Fate, it's I want it to be like that. And some I could right away, and some stuff, some breaks, some things I have to rehearse. But you remember, listen, almost all the shift between the different riffs in the songs I made. Me and Michael or me and Timmy or me, but I was the creative part of the band in that direction, not in lyrics, not in singing, not in guitar playing, but the what do you call it?
Rearrangements, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, the transition,
the rhythm section.
The other with like Satan Fall, you have about 32 or 33 different riffs, and
Yeah, because you got to make sure you're able to play what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm a drummer too. I get it. I'm a drummer. I got to rearrange all my guitar stuff around so I can play things and figure it out myself.
Yeah. I like to when I listen to a riff, it's like looking at a set of clothes or something like that, or a painting or something. How should I light this? How should I think very much how can I facilitate this riff the best way? How does it feel right for me to facilitate it? Which groove, which I always ask, how did if Hank or King had some material, I ask, how do you think it? Where's your beat? Where's your heavy beat, your downbeat, your upbeat? How do you think it? And that's I didn't want any more than that. Just how they heard it. Was it heavy? Was it upbeat? What was it funky? What were there? How was it in their mind when they heard it inside their own head? Like when you fall asleep, you're about to fall asleep. There's always one guy you talk to right before you go to sleep, right? The one in the head. Yeah. Women have a panel, but we only have one guy.
Now, did you follow King Diamond's career after Mercyful Fate broke up?
No, not particularly, because it didn't. The guy really doesn't interest me that much, and his music, I've heard something, most for vanity, just for making sure it's not as good as Mercyful Fate, and I haven't been disappointed yet.
I agree.
Well, Kim, I'm gonna give you a question that when I get asked the same question, well, we all do, all Mercyful Fate fans do, and it is very hard for me to. I'm going to give you a question that a lot of us Mercyful Fate fans ask each other, and it's a very difficult answer for me and for most Mercyful Fate fans, and we kind of say it's a tie, but if we had to choose, what would you say you liked more, Melissa or Don't Break the Oath?
That's not fair.
I know, Kim.
Because it's a part of the history. It's a part of the process. One thing leads to the next, which leads to the next. I probably would say if you twist my arm and put a gun to my head, I'd probably say Melissa, because that was the first time. You know what I mean? First LP, the first time. It's like somehow you remember the first woman you had, don't you?
Yeah.
Try to forget that.
No matter how she looked, anything, you remember her.
I agree with you, Kim. I would twist my arm, put a gun to my head. I'd say Melissa, but it hurts because I feel like they're both equally amazing, but. Like, okay, you can only pick one. It's like, okay, I picked Melissa, but I'm really upset now.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. It's not a nice question.
Yeah, but that's what we ask each other, this Mercyful Fate fans. If you had to pick, because everybody knows they're equally amazing.
Right.
I can't say one's better than the other, but okay, if I had to pick,
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah. So I had to go to the bathroom for a second. So I don't know if you guys talked about after the Mercyful Fate breakup.
We didn't get there yet. Well, just now that you've mentioned what was your favorite album, what's your favorite album cover?
Oh, that's more.
I think Melissa.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Why is that? Don't Break the Oath is so iconic.
I guess you don't agree.
No, I like both, but I tend to go towards Don't Break the Oath. It's just a more iconic looking album cover.
Maybe, but that's I've got a different relationship with that. It's again, as I told you before, it's the first one. It's when I saw you have to imagine when I saw it's so. The picture, it's an oil painting. The first time I saw the cover, I was just, what? I was blown away. I'm very much into art. I'm very much into drawing. I like the old Möbius, the oldest sci-fi drawers. It's not cartoons like a cartoon about the blah, blah, blah. That's it. But the first time I saw it, I have never seen a more powerful drawing or painting than that. It's just, wow, right in his face. And then when Don't Break the Oath, I hope you don't make me. I hope you don't think I'm arrogant. But when I saw Don't Break the Oath, it was expected. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's funny because
at all.
Yeah.
I like to ask a question about the back of Don't Break the Oath. It kind of looks like King Diamond's walking out of like a castle thing. Did you guys have a stage set up at one point where it was like a castle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that was a live shot.
Yes. The whole tour on the whole US tour, we had a setting sent from Denmark to the US the ship, a big container. We had a complete stage, brought complete stage to the USA. You haven't heard that?
No,
nobody's mentioned that. Michael didn't mention any of this.
You don't know much, do you?
No, don't tell us. I was the first trip.
Have you here.
Exactly. I was the first trip to the U.S.
What?
How was the first trip to the U.S.? Were you like frightened to go to the U.S. or how did that go?
No. So we were along. We were just excited, very excited. For us, it was an opportunity. Not very many Danish bands get to tour for the U.S. U.S. of A. Still don't, and that was as big as it could get. The chance, you know what I mean. That was as big an opening as we could ever get.
Right. What was the first band that you played with? Do you remember?
Slayer. I think
it was Slayer.
I think.
Oh, it was Slayer.
Yeah. And with Judas Priest visited us, and that in Phoenix. When we arrived at the venue, I was a huge fan of Judas Priest, and then the guys were saying everybody except the rock helper was saying that just being cool, just nodding. When we went in, I didn't even dare to go to say hello.
So, what's your favorite Judas Priest album, Kim? I'm curious.
Nostradamus.
I think it's the one that I detected that Judas Priest was the Brief Steel album, and it's maybe not the best, but it's very special. I think I like the sound, and I like the drummer. I think it's a big one. I think. So I like that album. they've done so much good stuff. So it's hard to say what's the best.
Yeah,
but,
that's a good one.
I've got a special thing with Bruce too.
Yeah.
I love Bruce Steele. That's a landmark album.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think as well. That and Who Pictures, the Ruzz album. I think that's some of the greatest stuff I've heard. I've got.
How did you feel when Neil Peart passed away? Since you're a Rush fan.
Yeah, that's just it's too early.
Mm-hmm.
Too early. I think we lost the lighthouse in many ways. Great human being, great philosopher, great drummer. He's got he had a lot going on. And we all, but it's just a little bit for that day.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure. But before I forget, because I will if I go any longer. Sorry for interjecting, but you were talking about the album covers, though, and I actually agree with you, Kim. I like Melissa better than Don't Break the Oath, and a big part of that is, even though the Melissa painting is dark and it really has a strong presence, it's got that air of dark mystery to it, and the name of the album is Melissa, but Don't Break the Oath, it's a demon, there's fire, it's called Don't Break the Oath. It takes some of the excitement out of it for me a little bit.
Yeah, Melissa is like, it's like a hippie with a lot of clothes, and Don't Break the Oath, it's like a stripper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's stupid. Sorry.
That's a good one. I love that.
Since you like art and stuff, what do you think of the EP artwork? Because obviously that's different from all.
I don't think that's very.
It's very amateurish.
It's very, and it is. But it's maybe that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
At that point.
Well, it's a very striking EP. Like you were saying earlier, Kim, about, America's the one that we're giving you the most controversy. Well, Living in America in 1983, that album cover was such, like you said earlier, the forbidden fruit. When I saw that album cover, I needed to have it because it was so, back then it was unheard of. Not even unheard of to hear. Go ahead.
And I think if you got the dirty drawing, and I think you might even hear King say "cunt."
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and Satan.
You know how many metalheads have jerked up to that number? Sorry for putting pictures in your head.
That's all right.
That's how I was.
Yeah. Now, you probably can't talk about your favorite song because you probably have so many different favorite ones. But is there one that you hated? One that you hated, you just didn't like at all?
Mercyful Fate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Night of the Unborn.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And was there one song?
It doesn't make any sense anywhere. I think but that's an opinion, and the art world is made of opinion, is it? So
yeah, I agree.
No, like Wade was saying, I agree too. That's the only song, at least for me, on the original Mercyful Fate releases that sounds slightly disjointed. It's not in the pocket, if you will.
No, I had a very hard time to put any heart in that because but then again, who is the judge if other guys like it? And then you do the best you can. But I just as you say, there's no heart. I think I'm not the only one without a heart in that song.
What were you saying, Ralph?
Was there? Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was going to ask.
I'm not the only one without a heart in that song. I think Timmy and Hank might like it. I think and King. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right. It has a different feel. It's like bored almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there a song when you perform live? Was your favorite song to perform live in Mercyful Fate?
Yeah, None of No Fun, Doomed by the Living Dead. Not as Discretion of Souls.
Oh,
Yes.
Curse of the Pharaohs.
Yeah. Curse of the Pharaohs is brilliant.
Yeah.
I absolutely love your drumming.
I just love that number. It's very long. It's very maybe enduring, but I like to play that also.
I love your drumming in Devil's Eyes.
Yeah.
It almost had a disco feel.
Yeah.
It does have a disco feel. It's meant to have a disco feel.
Oh, it was meant to.
It was meant to be a bit hard and not so Grammy's vision of, I Was Made for Loving You. You know that number?
Yes.
The same feeling, just better.
Yeah, I felt like you and Kim were really connected on that song, and I think that's what gave it the disco feel, was just you and Timmy. It had that backing, and that's another great thing about Mercyful Fate, was how locked in you were with Tim. It gave such a great feel. Like the rhythm section was unbelievable in that band.
Yeah. Every time before recording, we just desiccated the song Tim and mine in the rehearsing room. Just played the hell out of every number until everything was just so tight it could be, and then we invited the guitarist to join us, and that's how we became so tight.
That's awesome. Yeah, and with Doomed by the Living Dead, I had mentioned earlier that it's actually might be my favorite Mercyful Fate song overall, but I know a lot of people don't like when they did that beginning compilation that they changed the song order for it, but I love how that starts off with Doomed by the Living Dead, because that's just a powerful song, the way the drums and the bass jump out.
Now, after the band broke up, did you talk to anybody at all, or besides Hank? Did you stop talking to King, obviously, and Michael Denner?
No. I talked a little bit with them, but I was a bit disappointed in the guys, how they acted and how they reacted. Yeah. So I think I was pissed. I was bitter. I was mad at them. I think they betrayed the family. What do you call it?
They broke the oath.
Yeah.
Yeah, they broke the oath.
Now, did you give up playing music altogether?
No. I played a lot, but not. As I told you, I made a choice. What I wanted to do, and when I was kids on the way, the first of my boys, then and I talked to my wife about it, and said these are the options, and then I took some education instead, because I wanted to be around my kids when they grow up, and that's not possible as a heavy metal musician. I'm not schooled studio musician. I'm not for hired, for a gig or for that's not the kind of musician. Yeah.
Kim, did you hear the rumor? Because a lot of us heard this rumor back then. I don't know if it's true or not. They said that you were a postman for mail.
For what?
Okay, so it is true.
Yeah, that is true. For 3 or 4 years, and in Copenhagen, that's where I met my wife.
Oh, really?
So there's no such thing as a social welfare for musicians or anything like that. And I didn't earn as much as $1 of Mercyful Fate to live on. So I had to live. I had to get butter on the bread and so. And it was okay salary.
You don't get no royalties from the Mercyful Fate album?
Yeah, I do, but a bit, but that's not much.
Oh, wow, that's a shame, because I know those still sell a lot.
I think I've if you put it all together in the time, I think I maybe have made $20,000 all alone from being in Mercyful Fate.
Wow.
Amazing. Wow, I would have expected way more than that because they've all the reissues.
Yeah.
No.
What a shame.
Yeah, as I told you, that somebody, I was not that old and I was not thinking business, and somebody were a little bit more focused that direction, and that's, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the end, you know who made the most money? The people in the record company. I'm sure they even made more than the band.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's always the whole story.
Yeah, but that's how it goes. But then again, we split up when the things were going our way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the way it is. I've got no reason to complain about anything.
Yeah. When there was a reunion for the Into the Shadows album, were you asked to come back at all? Was there any talks with the guys? Nothing?
No.
Wow, so you didn't even know it was happening?
No.
Oh, wow. Would you have came back if they asked?
I know that Dennis told me that the King and Hank, at a certain point, he said that they hated me, and I don't know why. The only reason, they never told me. They never told me I was any problems. I know that I was, as I told you before, I had some challenges, some issues, and I was not that old, and I had a tough time in my childhood, and sort of should have had some help maybe should have had some help from the older boys in the band at the time. But I feel a little bit that turned their back on me instead.
Yeah.
Instead of, but that's maybe just in my head, so it doesn't. I don't really think about it. I don't want to waste energy in that.
No, of course. What's done is done.
Yeah.
And now,
still, Mercyful Fate made a little difference for me. I can't imagine what would have happened if I hadn't played with Mercyful Fate. Maybe something better. I don't know. Maybe something worse. No, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, actually, Mercyful Fate's getting back together again, and now Michael Denner's going through the same thing like what you did. They didn't ask him to rejoin the band.
No, they didn't. Me and Michael talked about it, and I think I wrote about it on Facebook. I said it's not a reunion. It's too bad to split up the band. What's that kind of reunion? I think it's a joke. I think it's an insult. And I think it's King and Hank with some hired hands, hired musicians to make some money. And if the fans think that's okay, I've got no problem with it. But I think it's they're squeezing the lemon here. I think.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah. I find the whole thing slightly dishonest.
Yeah, I think if Mercyful Fate, if you look at it as a brand, they are doing what they can to devalue it.
Yep.
But in the end, Kim, it's not 80s Fate. No matter what they do, it'll still be heralded, and I don't think it'll ever be tainted, no matter how where this reunion goes or what they do with the name. In the future, everybody's still gonna praise those 80s the two 80s albums and the EP as it's just.
I know what you're saying, but you have, if you look at it from my point of view, I know that Jimmy has passed, and in Denmark we have a saying that the hope is green, the light green, the hope is green. You know what I'm saying? And every time when they do something like that, for me it closes another door.
Yeah.
Right.
If there ever have been doors open, they're just closing and closing and closing. In my opinion.
What the hell was that? Somebody just got murdered.
Yeah, that was my roommate. Sorry.
Oh, really? Tell him thanks. 2006, you Mercyful Fate won an award, and then you got together with the band, except for King Diamond. How did that go?
Yeah, that went well.
Yeah.
I think that was the only thing, the guy who was our not manager, but I don't know what to call it. Called me and I asked if he would like to join for that award, and yeah, of course. And I joined. That was nice.
What was that? Now we hear ice machines. What is that?
I'm moving. Hang on.
Kim, if you ever watch the rest of our episodes, you'll see why this is happening.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. You're fired. Again.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say
I'm not editing this out of the show. This is too funny to not leave it in. Did you guys have any talks of maybe doing something again when you got that award?
Yeah, every time we get together, we talk about doing something. But it's like for me, it's like if you go on holiday, you meet some interesting people, and when you're about to go home and you have to say goodbye, you say we'll meet and we'll do this and we'll do that, and nothing ever happens. It's like the same. A lot of talk and nothing. I think every time Hank says to me, "You have to come and join some of my projects," and I say, "Yeah, you just call." Nothing ever happens.
Hank seems to be a problem.
Hank is Hank. He's a special guy.
Yeah. We're finding that out.
So Kim, are you still playing drums? Do you have a drum kit at home?
Yeah. Of course, I'm playing drums still. But
awesome.
I'm not. I've got a double bass pedal now. Not the double bass. It's
you sold out.
No, a downsized bit. I've got a big house by the beach, and with 2 kids staying home and a dog and a wife, and they need space, and I've got a little room for myself to put up the drums and my sound equipment if I want to. So I'm good.
Your drums are in the closet.
No, they're not in the closet. I'd rather give them away than put them on the attic or put them in the closet. Drums have to be played on.
Well, that's good. You're keeping your chops up.
I played all kind of music. I played in jazz big band. I played reggae. I played in a reggae band at the same time as I played with Mercyful Fate. Did you know that?
No,
I did not.
In the start, when I started up with Mercyful Fate, I think I've been playing with them for 2 or 3 months. We had a place in Denmark, called Sydhavn. This was 10 rehearsing rooms, gathered in one spot where you rented a room, and the next door band was some nice guys playing reggae, and then one day the drummer that didn't show up, and I said I can play with you, and then I did join them just for the fun, but it didn't become King very well. He couldn't associate to one man house with, but that's not his style.
yeah, of course. 2012. In 2012, you were starting a band, Metal Ruzz, I believe.
Yeah.
Whatever happened with that?
I got, what, arthrose? Rheumatism, arthrose? Know what that is?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I've started to have some problem with my knees and my toes. It's like when your joints get like wear and tear. But
arthritis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got that in my knees and my foot and my hands and my elbows, but it's not worth it. I had to establish how bad it was before I went to play anymore, and I'm still in the process of finding out how if my body can take it to play anymore. Because I get pain, but that's okay. You know, I can live with pain. Right. Because it's there no matter what I do. I can sit on the couch feeling sorry for myself. It hurts. I can do things. It hurts. So then, when I do things, I sort of, it's like think about something else, having your focus elsewhere than your own misery, as you can tell, or your own pain. Then it fades and gets in the background. So I've learned to live with it, but I'll never be able to join a band and rehearse full time and all that shit. I can't do that anymore. But I'd love to guest any bands. Can I put that in this podcast that if any bands of the ones who know me want me to be a guest on an album or something like that, they are so welcome to ask me, because I'd love that.
Actually, I would love to have you drum on one of my songs.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you facilitate it, I'll be there.
All right, cool. I will pick a song that I suck at playing right now, and I will give it to you, and I will let you do it.
Oh, Kim, can you do one of mine too? I'm in a band.
No, I asked first.
After you're done with Wayne.
I think I might have to ask for some seriosity as well. Can you let faith in us?
What is that? What?
I think I would ask for some seriosity. It's not how can it should be. I don't know your bands. Is it for records or what is it?
Yeah, I'm doing an album. Ralph has a band too. Thrash or Die.
And also, Kim, I released a Mercyful Fate tribute EP, which is only material that you were involved in. I did a cover of. In
case you don't have it. Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah, there it is. What was the song? "Leave My Soul Alone." I did a cover of that one.
Okay.
Which is not either on either.
Could you get Wayne to email me what you've done?
Yeah, of course. And Kim, if you like, I can even send you the limited edition vinyl I have of it.
Oh, that would be great.
We'll send you the MP3s.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to play. I'm always ready to play.
Cool.
And Go ahead.
You and Michael should do something.
What?
You and Michael Denner should do something.
Yeah, we talked about that as well, but yeah, let's see. We might. I've got some ideas, but yeah. Take some of the. I would like to for example, Doom by the Living Dead. I would love to do a new version of it. I've done some. I might send it to you. I've got but it's just for the three of you guys in the studio. I got it's Benny Peterson, him and me fooling around with Doom by the Living Dead, and I've played some double bass drum on it instead of the single bass drum, and put some strings on it, and shit. It sounds really. It's very rough. It's very rehearsal, but we can change material. But you have to. You can't just copy it to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'll send you something if you want it, but you have to promise me you won't just distribute it.
No, of course not.
No, not at all. But I would love to hear it.
Yeah, you can share it with your friends, but I know if Mr. Bendix Peterson finds out, I have a lawsuit on my ass.
And I would never do that to you, Kim. I'm too dedicated.
And never, yeah.
What were you saying, Ralph, before you got cut off?
No, I was just saying that No, what I said earlier, if you wanted a copy of the vinyl, I'd be happy to send it to you. And, I do have the MP3s. I don't think you have that, Wayne. I can send it to you so you can send it to Kim.
Okay, yeah.
I have them on MP3 form, too, because we only released 250 of them on vinyl. No CDs or nothing like that.
Sorry, what band is that?
Well, it's Mercyful Fate spelled backwards. It's Lucifer Creme Etaf.
Stupid question. Yeah.
And it was just a little project, a little tribute we did to the 80s Fate. Released 250 copies of it, and that's it. It's the cover is a parody of Don't Break the Oath, where the demon's not pointing, he's giving the middle finger, and the back of the album is a parody of the EP where it's actually me on the cross instead of a naked woman.
Are you naked?
No.
No, thank God.
No, thankfully.
No, I wanted to sell copies.
You sound like you're crazy. That's nice.
Yeah, I'm not that normal. Yes, that is true.
That's reassuring. I hate to talk to normal people. It makes me, insecure in some way.
Well, you're on the right show for that. We're all nuts.
Like Harry Dean Stanton once said, regular fucking people, I hate them.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you listen to any of the new type of metal? Do you know, for example, David Maximilian?
Who?
I have
David
not heard of him.
No.
Do you know Pomegranate Tiger?
No.
No, not really.
I don't think so.
The one that I'm listening to a band called Crypt Sermon. They're a brand new band, Kim. I think you'd like them. They're very, very good. They're called Crypt Sermon.
Yeah.
I do explore newer metal bands, but I have not heard of those two artists you just mentioned.
That's not. It's a bit more avant-garde metal. It's you know the guy called Pliny.
Yes.
Pliny. It's in that direction, and I love that kind of music as well.
Oh, okay. You know who you might like then, Kim? There's a band, I believe they're Japanese. They're called Kansu. It's spelled Khonsu, and they're avant-garde like that, and I really like them. They're a really cool band.
There's a lot of good stuff out there. There's a lot of, but they all it's like this avant-garde genre. It's like it's trying to be show themselves as intellectuals. Everything is called Andromeda or Helix Nebula, or it's all some spacey stuff, all of it. But the music it's quite interesting. It's quite new. It's David Maximilian. I think you should study him. You should listen to him. It's like every type of music mixed on a heavy foundation. It's bagpipe from Scotland. It's ukulele. It's saxophone. It's fucking everything.
Jeez,
it's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's like Rush meets Pink Floyd meets Queen meets Judas Priest.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah,
that's a mixed
I think I promised too much, but that's the way I hear it.
Excellent. I'm gonna have to check that out because I'm a big Zappa fan, and I always loved how he would mix different styles together. So that sounds really cool.
Yeah, I love that. Also, also funk music. Some for a band called Wolfpack, and some other new type funk music. It's very nearly like leaning up in the industrial metal scene. It's just very, very funky, and I love that as well. I think you should do yourself a favor, find Pomegranate Tiger and listen to the number called Stars. And if you like heavy metal, you like guitar music, I think it'll blow you away. It blew me away. I think the same a simple way that Mercyful Fate might have blown you away at that time. Totally,
right. Yeah.
When it's totally new, but no lyrics, it's instrumental. Check that out. Check that out.
Very interesting. So is that your favorite new band that's out right now, like the new stuff?
What?
Is that your favorite new thing that's out?
Yeah. From the Tiger and David Max music, and I think Pliny and they got the strangest name. There's a band called Their Dogs Were Astronauts. They're making.
I know them. Yeah, okay, they're good. Yeah.
That type of music, I'm into that for the time being.
What are we saying, Ralph?
Well, it's good you're still exploring music out there, and you didn't give you're still a music fan.
Yeah, really.
Because a lot of people, our age, we all have people we grew up with that don't explore music anymore, and if they do, they just stay in the past,
Yeah. Some of the people I know, they stayed in like 1997, and that was the end of it.
Yeah. But music is if you use it, you can use it as therapy as well. I do that.
Yes.
If my mind is full of too much bad stuff, I have to listen to music, and it has to be so loud that it moves my body, because when something pushes to my body, it pushes to my brain. You know what I'm talking about. If you've got a lot on your mind, take a run. Your mind will start moving. You'll start thinking again, and that's I use music very much that way. But music has to be loud. You have to not only hear music, you have to feel it as well. I think. I'm not much of a listener. I can't listen to music and talk with other people. I hate when I'm listening to music and my wife comes and asks me a question. She shouldn't do that. But,
No, never.
Never.
Well, Kim, I'm just not speaking for me, but your music, the Mercyful Fate 80s music, helped a lot of people in situations, and hard times. That music really did help a lot of people, including myself, through hard times, and I'm sure you've gotten that a lot. I mean, because honestly, it is a very extremely special band.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you say am I breaking up, or are you breaking up?
No, well, I don't know if I was breaking up. You sound fine.
Okay. I just didn't hear what you said.
Oh, you didn't hear anything you said? Oh,
I'm sorry. I just said that through hard times, Mercyful Fate not only helped me, but through a lot of people. So what you were talking about earlier, how it's good therapy. You were part of a creativity of music that
everything
has helped many, many people through hard times.
But how did that do that? But the way you think, or was it an inspiration to you mean how could it do that?
It was just music is, like you said, therapy, and listening to Mercyful Fate really did help me through a lot of hard times.
Okay.
And it was very inspirational. And like I said, for me, it's like the top of my list is 70s Black Sabbath and 80s Mercyful Fate. Those two are my favorite bands of all time.
Okay.
That's why
the feeling the feeling you get inside when you listen to it, the thoughts, the feeling in your gut, things like that.
Yeah, it even soothes the soul, as they say. It makes me feel better. It's a great escapism. You escape your problems and you listen to it very, very loud, like you said, and nobody interrupting me, and just listen to it and soak it all in. And it really does help. It helps a lot mentally.
It carries you away. It takes your mind, lifts it up, and carries you away. If you use music to that. I couldn't agree more. And it's a beautiful experience.
Yeah, and you are part of it. You've created music that does that to many, many people. I'm not just speaking with me. I'm talking generation of metalheads.
Yeah. I couldn't ask for more than could I.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think.
There is a guy called Sean Peck. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, Sean, the English guy, yes.
Yes. Has he contacted you to do any of the projects that he has done with Michael Denner and Hank Sherman?
No.
No. All right.
That's a shame.
Fill me in, please.
So he did a band with Michael Denner and Hank Sherman called what the hell is it
Denner
called?
Sherman.
Denner
Sherman.
I drew a blank there. Shut up, Greg, rolling your eyes at me.
Shut your eyes.
It was Michael Denner, Hank Sherman, and also Snowy Shore. So I was wondering if maybe he had you in mind to fill in that place for the drums instead of Snowy.
No, I've been. There's so many stories about me. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's like sometimes I feel like I'm best standing. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know why. I think the only I know I'm in best standing, but I don't know why. I think it's because I'm not even much myself when I say what I think and feel. I'm not. I don't.
You're not a kiss ass.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that must be all inside stuff, Kim, because as far as like us, I mean, we've never heard a bad word about you through all the years in the press, but it must be like the inside people and the band members.
What is the worst thing that you heard? Rumor about you?
I've never been. They never asked me to join anything. They never talked to me. They never called me. Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
What's the worst rumor that you had that you heard about you?
What?
What's the worst rumor that you've heard about yourself?
I'm moody.
Are you? You don't seem very moody on here.
I know I am. I am moody. I know I am.
I'm everybody.
Some. How to explain that? Maybe sometime I get they see me as moody, but I'm just being me. I'm just honest. I'm not wrapping things in honey and cotton. I speak my mind, and if you do not agree with me, I always wanted to back off or change my point of view. But you have to have fucking good arguments. I don't just do it. You have to convince me.
Right.
And I think that doesn't align with some of the prima donnas in the music business. And maybe at some time I myself were one of the worst, as I told you. And that's maybe that's what's caught up. Karma and shit. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, in the email that you sent back to me, because I've been trying to get in contact with you to do this thing since December, and you kind of went silent for a little while on me, but you wrote you had some family issues. What was going on?
Yeah.
If you want to talk about that on here, it's up to you.
That's not some. No, that's private.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we hope whatever it is, it's either resolved or it's getting better.
Yeah.
There was nothing to do with me. But, stuff. I have. There's a line, I wouldn't. I never involve my family.
Yeah.
Right.
Not before asking them.
That totally makes sense.
Respectable.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I hope everything's been sorted now, though. And that
it is. And I'll be back on Facebook tomorrow, the day after. But when we haven't been on Facebook for a couple of days, I think in 14 days, there's a lot of stuff waiting for me to.
I'm sure there is. It's probably half of that is my messages, so just ignore those.
It's like when you get this letter, there's a bill inside, you don't want to open it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Put it under the carpet and sort of disappears of itself. Oh, no, it doesn't, but you know the feeling?
Yes, I do.
Yep, that's why I got a paper shredder.
Kim, I never sent you any messages on Facebook or any interaction, but you did add me. My name's Ralph Viera. Please don't delete me.
No, I wouldn't delete you. And my profile is everybody is welcome. The only thing that could disqualify anybody for being in my one of my friends is extremism. If you get religious or you get political or you get or if you're a hater, I will drop you in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then I stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a big reason why I'm kind of trying to get out of social media right now. So that's a huge thing with me too. I'm sick of all that stuff. I need to get away a little bit.
Okay.
I just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I totally understand you. I can see it in my kids, my friends. I'm just, you know, this Facebook profile I made. It's the first time I've played out because I know it's a time thief. It takes time away if you're not aware.
Right.
And you meet a lot in my as a drummer, the band I've played in and such shit. I will meet a lot of haters and through her. And it's I've been thinking about this a lot on Facebook because I knew that it'll do something to my life as well. You know, everything comes back. Every memory, everything. You know, I live again, and again. And I'm okay with that. But I won't let it become a problem.
Yeah, I hope so too. A lot of people always want to know, like, you know, what happened to you. So it was great to see you finally, you know, join Facebook. What made you finally join Facebook? Out of all the things to join, I mean, Instagram and Twitter. I mean, you pick Facebook.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer. That was the easiest part. That was just easy. Yeah. And I didn't. To be honest, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know. I didn't start up as Kim Ruzz on Facebook. I started off with my real name, Kim Ruzz. And it wasn't meant to be a Mercyful Fate style or Kim Ruzz style. But quickly I could see, and I was very happy, and I was proud. And I could see a lot of events still out there, and I was amazed, and still I'm still can't really. I'm still trying to grasp it. I don't know. There's no reason for me to pick Facebook. I didn't think about it. And no thoughts behind again.
Yeah.
So yes.
How many friend requests did you get the first day you got on there? Was it hard to keep up with all the requests?
No.
Or do people not really realize?
It's not that bad. What the first was a lot of Brazilian fans.
Really?
What is that? It's all Brazilian. And nobody from the USA, nobody from England, nobody from Germany, anywhere else. But still, they hammered in. But, yeah.
Well, this is one thing I forgot to even ask this question. Since Kim Ruzz isn't your real name, where did Ruzz come from?
When we have to have, it's not enough to play heavy metal. It takes a lot more. You have to have the right dress. You have to have the right hair. Yeah. You can't just play metal. You have to look as a musician as well. And then the name. I have always been a major fan of the band Rush, but I couldn't call myself Kim Ruzz because listen, everybody had to have another name, like an artist name. And it's I think it's vanity or something like shit like that, stupidity.
Right.
And then it became true. So I think it was Dana who said, then you spell Ruzz with the two C's instead. And then okay, I did that. And the funny thing, when we came to America, everybody thought that Ruzz is a bit gayish. But it's my real name, you know, that's Jensen. Oh, Jensen, man, totally Viking. It's just a stick to my original name. That would have been more metal and Viking than Rush.
Yeah.
Pink. The name is Pink.
Wow. Very cool. Well, where could people go to you to talk to you? Like you said, if somebody wants you to do a drumming session or whatever on their songs or whatever, how can they contact you? On your Facebook page?
Yeah, on my Facebook. Oh yeah, or any of you guys, if you any of you talk to, you can. You've got my contact.
I can send them your way.
What?
I can send them your way to your email address, or.
Yeah.
Okay.
A serious.
Right. Yeah. Serious only, guys. Don't just randomly email them and ask them on Facebook. Yeah. Serious only.
Yeah.
And what is there what is your Facebook? Facebook.com/ is it your Kim Ruzz or is it what is it? I don't even know.
I think it's Kim Ruzz. KIMTHYGE.
Oh, so you use your real name?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll write that out on the thing.
Yeah. You should be able to find me on Facebook. Well, if you knew, you got my phone number now, and you can. And Wayne's got my email address. Who am I talking to now?
Well, you're talking to all of us, but I'm Wayne.
Yeah. Okay. So the guys I told you to regarding my email address that hold it close to you, but now we talked. I kind of like you. I trust you.
I hope so.
Yeah. So if we can trust you, then you are free to give serious people my mail address, because maybe in a couple of months Facebook might be too much. Might have some stupid experience or something, and I close it down. But then you'll still have a contact info for me.
All right, awesome. Excellent. Very cool. Very cool. Anybody else have anything else before we can wrap this up?
Well, there's a possibility, Kim, that because my band has toured Europe before, and it's possible we will be touring either late this year or early this year. If we do play a show in Denmark, would you come out? I would get you on the guest list and get you in for free.
Yeah, I bet you can keep me away.
Awesome, because I would love to meet you, and I'd love to, hey, maybe come up on stage and play a song with us.
You never know what happens. I'm always open.
Oh, that's great.
I'm always positive and open.
That is great. It's been an honor talking to you, Kim. And
I have one question for you three guys.
Sure.
Because it's an idea I've got. As I told you, I haven't earned any money on Mercyful Fate. Not worth talking about. And nobody has any videos with me playing. Is that true?
Well, no. I do. I have a full show I have a full show of before Melissa came out. I have a full show of Mercyful Fate with you playing with them.
From where?
I believe it's Denmark. I could be wrong. I'd have to look into that. But it is a professional.
The one from Denmark is, I think that's the one concert we did after we came back from America, isn't it? From the US.
Well, King Diamond still had that makeup that's on the original EP. It wasn't refined yet. And you were wearing a shirt that had kind of like tassels on the sleeve. Do you remember that?
Could it have been, is it from Eindhoven?
Yeah, I think that may be.
Yeah, I think it is Eindhoven.
It has a little backstage footage.
An old type video camera?
It's professionally. It's several cameras. It's not just one camera.
I'm looking up on YouTube right now. The one from Eindhoven looks like it's just like a bootleg. Somebody just sitting in the audience recording.
It's fan shot. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. Well, the one I'm talking about, when they released, I believe it was Metal Blade. I could be wrong. Released the Melissa like a re-release, they put some of the show on an extra DVD on there. It is like you can buy it, but it's not the full show. I actually have the full show.
Okay. I haven't seen it. I think I haven't seen it.
Oh, I'd be happy to send it to you if you like it.
Oh, that would be great. I would love that.
Consider it done. I will do that. You give Wayne the information of your address, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah,
and I'll send you the vinyl of our Mercyful Fate tribute.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I will send you this rough rehearsal from Benny and me. It's funny. It's not very well produced, and it's the song is too loud, and everything's wrong. But it's very funny.
Okay, yeah.
I look very forward to hearing it.
It's a treat for you if you see it like that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kim.
Yes, thank you very much for coming on. Hold on 1 minute. Don't go anywhere. You got some? What were you saying, Ralph?
Oh no, I just was going to say again, thank you so much for your time, and this has been amazing for me because we never hear from you. We never hear, and it's just so amazing to actually get to talk to you. I mean, I would have been happy enough just to read an interview in a magazine, but much less talk to you is even more mind blowing to me.
Yeah. Thank you very much. If you could see me, you'll see me blush.
Next time you gotta get Skype though, so this way we can see you and maybe have better audio.
But then the next time I will have Skype, but I'm in the middle of having my keys fixed. I've broken one of my front tooth.
Okay.
No matter what, I wouldn't have gone on Skype on camera now.
You could put like a chiclet in there or something. Nobody would notice.
I'd look like a bomb social.
That's all right. If you've seen us, it wouldn't matter. Especially Greg.
Yeah, I got a couple giant pieces of teeth missing.
But yes, thank you very much. But don't go. Let me just close out the show. Thank you everybody for watching. Ralph, we're going to do like a cross brand thing with your show, right?
Yes, we're going to do a crossover. I'm going to put this up, Kim, on my podcast, and I will send you a link when it's up.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Likewise, my friend.
You too.
It's been a pleasure.
Everybody, please check out ratsaladreview.com. And Ralph, you don't have a website or anything, right? You just have your Facebook.
Well, I have my band, thrashordie.com. That's my only website.
Right. But your podcast stuff isn't on a
My
website.
podcast, Viera Vault. Check out my podcast, Viera Vault. Yeah. I'm on YouTube as Almost Human, where I've done some reviews on Mercyful Fate, actually. Only 80s, by the way.
Oh,
wow. So, yeah, maybe, Kim, my name is Ralph Viera. I'm going to send you some links to my reviews on Mercyful Fate, and you can hear how much I praise you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep. So definitely, please go check out Ralph's stuff, and go add us on YouTube. Please subscribe. You're on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, everything. Just go to ratsaladreview.com. Everything is on there. Ralph's podcast is even on our network as well. So
and it's on iTunes as well, and
iTunes,
YouTube, and Spreaker, and Podbean.
That's right. So please go look all that up. And please go buy a Rat Salad Review shirt. We will see you guys next time. Adios. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
What?